He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha, and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation, while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him, and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Minash Mishra.
ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि। So good morning everyone, and good evening to the people from the other side. So as we continue this journey of unfolding the path that leads to liberation, and this mystic journey is something that in every step of it there is realization, in every step of it there is learning, in every step of it there is a process, in every step of it it becomes a meditation. So as we are here again today to speak about the same and continue our journey with this, I would like to start this session by thanking all of you, because what I noticed last night was the Anhad Bhajan that has been launched. In the last 2 days itself, it has crossed 102 hours of view. That has, मतलब 100 घंटे से ज़्यादा लोग सुन चुके हैं उसे. So it's might be you all people have been listening to it rigorously, or what I can say. So continue to do so. There are few more things coming up in that. So coming to the Tahar Vidya. Many times when we speak of liberation, we speak of that it's easy to get, easy to reach out to some things. There are questions within us, and we start thinking like, how is it even possible that a person like me, because we all are conditioned in such a way that we look at our own selves and we think like we are just a human, and how is it even possible to get to that stage or to a state where even realization can happen. So, as we have talked last time, there are the 3 steps that always, any kind of practice, any kind of sadhana that you do, always it is told in the 3 aspects of process, like the Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasa, right? So when you listen to that, as I said, the moment you listen to that, it feels like, okay, so there is something that is changing within me. So this is what we talked last time, the Shravanam. Then the Mananam, like when you start searching on that, you start questioning about it. Then the Nididhyasa, when you bring it to practice. So I would like to give a analogy, a example to all of you, so that we again like come to a realization. I would like to ask a question, like when a seed is thrown into the ground or pushed into the ground, we think like the seed changes. Yes or no? If it is a fertile land and a seed is thrown into the ground, the seed changes. Yes or no? What happens to the seed? The first thing you will notice is it breaks. But there is something very subtle that is happening behind the scenes. When you see that a seed is pushed into the soil, you think like only the changes is happening to the seed. No, the change is also happening to the soil. Yes or no? See, the soil was lying as comfortably as it could. It didn't had anything to do with the seed. But the moment the seed is pushed into the ground, it also gives space, it creates space for the seed to grow. It holds it tight, but it also, and in this moment, you will see something so subtle and so beautiful happens. It's a realization for both the seed and the soil. The seed that was lying dormant as if it is dead has now found that it has life within it. And the soil that looked like dirt and of no use finally realizes that it has the power to bring life into existence. So that's what I'm saying. A mantra, a sadhana, a process, a vidya, like whenever you are keeping the things, it's just like it looks like, okay, so it's good, looks good in the Vedas, in the Puranas, in the writings, it looks good. And then you look at your own self, I said, oh, I'm just like that seed in the bottle of no use. Might be somebody someday cooks it and eats it up. That's the best thing that can happen to a seed in the bottle. But when you look at our own selves and when we look at that seed, the seed is like a shaba, right? Lying down like a corpse. It does not know that life is in it. Now look at Shiva. Shiva is just like that seed, sitting, unmoved, unshaken. And then when Shakti is introduced into that, what happens? Shakti becomes the ground, Shiva becomes the seed. And when they combine together, they create life out of it. Similarly, when you feel that you are in the Martya Loka, right? That's this. Prithvi Loka is also called as the Mrityu Loka or the Martya Loka. Means here death is inevitable. यहाँ जो भी आए उसको मृत्यु प्राप्त होगी. So that means somehow, somewhere you think yourself like this is going to be a corpse someday. So now, in some way or other, you have accepted yourself to be Shiva. Because Shiva sits in such deep samadhi that it looks like as if he is breathing or not. If you check if he is breathing or not, then only you will realize whether that person is alive or not. Or else just he be sitting like a stone. How would you even know? So that means without the pranic Shakti that is running within us, if it is not there, you will be sitting like a rock. But can you see both are combining with each other? Shakti is interacting with Shiva and Shiva is interacting with Shakti, and that's how your life is coming into existence. And that's where I want to say, like, when a seed gets into the ground, it is not only the seed that changes, it's the ground that changes as well. When you walk on the path of spirituality, you not only change, even the divine creates a space for you to come into existence, to bring forth a separate, a different kind of life. Now, one question is, Once the seed became a sapling, can it become a seed back again? क्या वो बीज जो था वो जब प्रस्फुरित हो जाता है, एक छोटा सा पेड़ बन जाता है, क्या वो वापस एक बीज बन सकता है? वही वाला उससे बीज निकल सकते हैं, लेकिन क्या वो पुनः बीज बन सकता है? नो, नॉट पॉसिबल. दैट मीन्स देर इज अ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. That transformation is something that is the Vidya talking about. But it looks so difficult, so terrifying at times also. You know why? Because of our conditioning that we have. You look at this, a seed, in order to grow, if it does not break, can it grow? Can it become a tree? Can it become a plant? No, right? Anything in this world. The most amazing thing is, in order to create anything, destruction should happen first. Anything new, if you want to create anything new, destruction should happen first. See, Shiva was sitting, or the consciousness that was there that we speak of, like there was absolutely nothing, and there was suddenly, it was just like that, and the consciousness appeared. Means what? It was lying down dormant, and suddenly a break happened in it. Just like a seed was sitting silently, a crack appeared in it, and a tree started, or a plant or a sapling started growing from that. Similarly, when you look at your own self, you have been living a very pleasant worldly life, might be worried, whatever you call it, whatever the way you see into the world. See, there was that kind of life going on. If you would not have been introduced to all these things, life would have still gone. But the question is how? You could have been a well-packed, well-bottled seed, just waiting for somebody to fry you and eat. Or rather, you have chosen not to be a bottled, well, or good-looking seed. You just threw yourself into the ground of the spirituality. And now that breaks so many things, so many patterns, so many thoughts, so many ways that you have seen life. And that is the prerequisite of any change to happen. Things needs to break to get started. And that is where people fear coming into spirituality. They suddenly see things are moving in a very different direction. ये सारे चीजें क्यों हो रही है मेरे साथ? It's very simple. The seed has chosen not to be the seed anymore. It wants to become the plant. And last week I was talking to the kids, and I say like, you know what? If you don't realize, then what would happen? One youngster asked me like, what would happen if we don't walk on the path of spirituality? I said, that's great. You can still live. You can still have a beautiful life. But you could have become a great banyan tree, but you will remain a bonsai. A bonsai looks great. A bonsai looks beautiful. A bonsai can be kept in a little space, but you could never experience your potential in the fullest. You could have become a banyan tree, but you chose to be a bonsai. You know what bonsai is, right? छोटा सा पेड़ हो जाता है ना, दिस स्मॉल, वो उसमें भी वो सारे लटाएं निकलते हैं, पेड़ सब कुछ होता है, but it never grew to its fullest. And I say, would you like to live like that? A bonsai, a banyan tree that is squeezed as a dwarf in a corner of a room, whereas it could have created a jungle out of it. So that's what will happen to you. But do you choose to be something so huge, so large that it does not only sustains its life, it creates life for others? So that's what happens to people when they choose. And you know what? The more and more you want to help others, the bigger you become. And the bigger you become, even the harder work you do. But because now it is no more you, it's all. That's what Tahar Vidya teaches us. So do you choose to walk this path? I still remember the movie Matrix, and they says, okay, the green pill or the red pill. Blue pill or the red pill. And which pill do you choose? And there comes a choice for every one of us. We choose to walk on the path of spirituality despite whatever is happening, or we choose the world again. Choice is ours. But when people say Walking on the path of spirituality is very difficult, especially in this Kali Yuga. I said, is it easy to walk on the life in the spiritual, in the worldly realm? अगर स्पिरिचुअलिटी में चलना मुश्किल है तो संसार में चलना आसान है क्या तुम्हारे लिए? नहीं है ना. So at least here you have a protection. Here you have something to take care. Like there is something like at least you are a little bit silent, little bit happy, a little bit. At least कुछ समय के लिए शांत तो हो जाते हो. नहीं तो सोचो डमरू की तरह नहीं बजते रहते हैं. मैं वही कहता हूँ, देखो शिव को देखो और शिव के हाथ के डमरू को देखो. शिव एक है कि शांत है और डमरू एक है कि बजता रहता है. तो आप क्या बनना चाहते हो देख लो. आप डमरू बन के बच सकते हो जिससे रचना हो सकती है, पूरा संसार बन सकता है. आप डब 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 कर सकते हो, और यू कैन सिट लाइक द शिव. Both is Shiva's creation. So what you choose here is what you are. But when we said, जैसे कि I recorded a small, like a casual talk has been recorded. We'll try to get that into a format of clippings or videos so that it can be put in. जिस बैठे थे उसको record कर लिए. So there we were talking about that. Like ये सब सुनने में अच्छा लगता है. It feels good to listen. That I am God, I am Brahman, I am this, I am that. But living it, realizing it, very difficult. I said, did you feel that is difficult because you have accepted yourself with a conditioning that this is your life, this is what you are? And I gave a beautiful example, like it just showcased itself from nowhere. I said, do you know like why we actually run towards the world? See, Shiva created. When we say like there was nothing and creation came into existence, at that time, what happened? It wanted to experience itself and it divided itself into two. One running, the other sitting. So that this creation and destruction keep on continuing. So when you look at this situation in this way, why, despite you don't try, like trying to say that aham brahmasmi, trying to feel that I am the divinity, why do you have that void within you still? वो पूरा क्यों नहीं होता है? तो उसका आंसर, when they asked me, as I answered that, let me tell you this is not your doing, it's the doing of this world, and I'll tell you where, how and when you became incomplete. Do you know there is a time when you became incomplete, and that's why still you are running to find certain things in your life? The best example is, rather a question would answer you. When a baby is in the womb of the mother, does it ever cry for food? No, right? Why it does not cry? Food is readily available, so it does not cry. But the moment the baby is out of the womb, उसे भूख लगेगा, और जब भूख लगे तो रोएगा. When he's hungry, it will cry, right? Then what it feels? Up until now, I was complete. Now I am incomplete because I'm feeling hungry. And when I take a food from outside and eat it, then only I am satiated. Then only my hunger is taken care of. That means I am incomplete. Something out there completes me. Yes or no? And that was your first learning when Maya entered. And now you start thinking, there is something that will complete me. I am incomplete. But what is the bigger hidden trajectory behind that? Absolutely just the same thing. Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is sitting, Shakti is running. It seems like without that, I'm incomplete. And this is where we all are running. Let's say you are the Shiva who feels incomplete without Shakti. Don't you run mad in this world right now? हाँ, कभी कभी हो सकता है एक निकाल के फेंक दो और बोलो कि ओके चलो वीरभद्र प्रकट हो. बट विदाउट दैट, गुस्सा आता है ना आपको, सो यू गेट एंग्री एट टाइम्स. तब क्या करते हो? वो कहते हैं ना, गुस्से से बाल नोच लेना. देयर इज ए सेइंग इन हिंदी. बट क्या करते हो उसमें से? लाइक अगेन आप प्रकट कर देते हो वीरभद्र, और कहीं प्रकट नहीं होता, आप ही बन जाते हो. सो यू ऑल्सो टेक दैट काइंड ऑफ स्वरूप सो मेनी टाइम्स. बट द थिंग हियर इज, did you realize why you feel incomplete? Because the first instance that you saw, like if I don't eat anything, I am still hungry. That means this body is incomplete and you need something outside that actually completes that. But that was at a physical level. then you brought it at a mental level also. I need the attention of people. I need the permission of people. I need appreciation of people, as if you are a commodity. But the commodity does not worry about anything. We do. A like, we are happy. A dislike, there are 1,000 good comments about you. And then somebody wrote one simple thing, one bad thing about you. Then how do you feel? ऐसे कैसे लिख सकता है? Because you are going for the appreciation part of others. You don't do it for the sake of doing it, or you just do it because you love it. But have you noticed that whenever you do a thing that you love to do without trying to impress anyone, how do you feel? How do you feel when you are able to do whatever you want to do? Got it? And then you say, but in this world, things are not like that. This world operates in a different time zone, in a different role, in a different realm, and you are talking of something else. How can I be ready for that? Then let me tell you, Tahar Vidya was never only meant for the sages and the saints. Tahar Vidya was designed for people who are in this world. जो संसार में रह के भी मुक्त होना चाहते हैं, उनके लिए जो विद्या बनाई गई वो है तहर विद्या. So it is not that you cannot achieve it, it's not that you cannot reach it out. But slowly, step by step, as we walk on this path. Why I go slowly is so that you do not slip. आप देखियो ना, जब मंदिर की सीढ़ियों को जोर जोर से भाग के चले जाते हो, अगर सीढ़ियां गीली हो या भीगी हुई हो या आप जोर से भाग रहे हो सकता है आप गिर सकते हो. We don't want to create a very loose foundation on which you cannot stand. We're creating a step-by-step process, a step-by-step method, so that it becomes a constant creative thing within you. Haven't you noticed, like whatever we speak, that actually goes on into you, and then a new thing starts happening. वो समुद्र मंथन जैसा होता है. And then you start realizing like, oh, so this was not me, this is what me is. So that realization is something that should begin everything, right? हाँ ठीक है, जहर निकलता है, but we have Shiva with us, so you can drink it. And at the same time, you have the power of creating elixir of life. So what is the problem? If you only think like you are that one who is not capable of to drink it, then you have that problem. But here we are teaching both. Okay. So let's continue to walk on this path. Especially, I would like to address one thing where people think like Tahar Vidya is something. It should be very complex because the name itself sounds like that. I said, no, it's not. No, you are saying that can actually liberate you. Then how can it be easy? I said, who said liberation is tough? Except your conditioning to be. So the nature is so easy. The nature is so available. The nature is so beautiful out there. It just happens every single day. What do you do for the air to blow? What do you do for the rivers to flow? What do you do for the birds to chirp? And what do you do for the sun to rise? What's your doing? All is happening effortlessly. The flower blooms, the fruits grow. You just wait for the summer season for the mango to appear. What do you do? And he said, no, no, we put the seed into the ground. Okay, if you put the seed, did all the seed grew? No. But here, then the question arises in the mind of a sadhak that, oh my God, what if I am that seed that never grew? Then the answer is very simple. किसी के मन में ऐसा प्रश्न आया है कि मैं अगर वो बीज हुआ जो कभी ग्रो ही नहीं कर सकता, what about that me? Then you should realize one thing. You are the chosen seeds. It does not choose the seeds that are dead. वो दुनिया में लाखों करोड़ों हैं, but you are not that. have been actively chosen. And the master farmer knows which seed will grow and which will not. आपने देखा होगा ना कि वीड्स आ जाते हैं. वीड्स क्या होता है? जो घास फूस उग जाता है, जो कहते हो ना, वो घास फूस को अलग कर देता है. जो सही पेड़ है उसे रख देता है. Yes or no? So that is where, don't even bring that thought that it is going to be something else for you, like you are not going to grow. There is no possibility of that. You will. So the easiest, it is, as I said, Tahar Vidya is not just very complex. It's very easy. It's not only reserved for the intellectuals or the scholars or the monks or those who have actually left the world and living in the deep forest of the Himalayas. That's for them also. But this is what our mind does when we start learning about something so profound, so interesting, so amazing that we have never heard of. What it does, the mind actually kicks in. The mind will immediately categorize it as something very difficult, something very far away from me, distant, and attaining it after so many years, I don't know, I cannot put that kind of effort. But this itself is the first misunderstanding, that Tahar Vidya is difficult to understand. Tahar Vidya is not complex. And we will do a small meditative process today. And you will see like how you attain that just like in a flicker of a second. It won't take even 5 minutes time for us. Why 5 minutes? 5 minutes to prepare you. Happening happens. So again, there is a small little process that you will learn today. Okay. So this is the simplest, I can still say, it is the simplest truth that exists in this world right now. It is so simple that people discarded that. So simple that mind overlooks it. So immediate that it does not appear significant. इतना आसानी से है कि वो उसका वैल्यू भी पता नहीं चलता है. But the problem is not the truth is hidden. The problem is the mind is not trained to look in that direction. Because from our childhood, our attention has been conditioned to move outward. जैसे मैंने कहा ना कि food is outside, attention is outside, the feeling of the love is outside, the feeling of respect is outside. All that you have been looking at. And in that way, you might have gone through the 8 steps of the Mansik Ashtanga Yoga Sadhana. Don't stop there. Repeat that, because the more and more time you do that, the better and better you become with those practices. How many, before moving ahead, let me ask you a question. How many of you came to a place where it says, stop ignoring yourself or belittling yourself or cursing yourself? That day, when you are listening to that, you might have understood for the first time, like it's not only other people, what you are doing to your own self. And the more and more you practice that, the better it becomes. And then I'm yet to record or start recording for something that would be a 30-day, 28 to 30-day sadhana of the same Ashtanga Yoga, Mansik Yoga, in a elaborated way where the same process is done in a different way for 4 to 5 days each. But that will only come when you practice this. You can ask me why. So remember the story of the old woman? मैंने तुम्हें चलना देखा कहाँ है? When did I saw walking you? And then how can I tell when you will reach there? Okay. So practice those things. These are, just think of, if something, the best thing is given to you and if you don't use it, what is the benefit of it? So as I was talking about your childhood. So from your childhood, everything is looking outside. You are taught that to observe the objects, analyze the situations, achieve your goals, and define yourself through what you accumulate. जो कुछ आप कमा पाए उससे आपकी, like they start accepting you or denying you in that way. If you look at our every system that is there in this world established, it can be education, it can be society, it can be relationships, it all reinforces on us that everything is outside. It was always an outward move. As a result of this, our life becomes a journey of seeking something outside ourselves, believing that the fulfillment only lies somewhere there, somewhere ahead of me, not with me right now. But Tahar Vidya, gently but very powerfully, it will reverse the direction of your own self. ये आपको बड़े मजबूती के साथ और सरलता के साथ अपने तरफ मोड़ देगा. And that's where your journey will take a different way altogether. There is a saying, no, uh, दिशा बदली तो, no, I'm just missing it up. कश्ती ने मोड़ा रुख तो किनारे बदले. So I'm just missing that out. उसने कहा कि the boat was going in one direction. It was going to one part of the bank of the river. Now it has turned its side. It will reach the other side of the bank of the river. नजर बदली तो नजारे बदले, कश्ती ने मोड़ा रुख तो किनारे बदले. So I was looking towards this. I was thinking something else. I looked towards that. My thought changes. नजर बदली तो नजारे बदले, कश्ती ने मोड़ा मो रुख तो किनारे बदले. And that's how this will turn you inward. It will not ask you to withdraw from life physically. It does not demand isolation or rejection of this world. It simply shifts your attention from what is seen to the one who is seeing it. This is not an inward movement in space. It is an inward recognition in existence. And let me give you a beautiful way of looking at this. Shiva is sitting. One fine day, Shakti, I'll not take the name as Parvati or Sati. I'm talking about Shakti, because that is how the transition phase was happening. Now, you all know, like, as the immolation of Sati happened, after that, Shiva went into a frenzy, and after that, he settled down and he just sat quietly. That's what we all have studied, we have learned, we have heard, right? Now, when Shiva, just imagine this, when Shiva has lost Sati and now he is in absolute deep penance, about whom he must be thinking. In his deepest core thoughts, whom he must be thinking of. The answer is Shiva became absolutely silent thinking about Shakti. Right? So Shiva is thinking about Shakti in the deepest of its meditation. Now let's take the next step. Shakti, when she took the form of Parvati, what is she doing meditation on? Shiva. That means Shiva, when not even with Shakti, is meditating on Shakti. That means Shakti is already with her. And Shakti, when she is trying to reach out to Shiva, in that way also she is actually with Shiva. Now, the question is, when Shiva is sitting and thinking about Shakti, is Shakti already within Shiva or not? When Parvati is sitting and meditating on Shiva, is Shiva already in Parvati or not? Even though both of them look different, separate from each other, but were they ever different? Were they ever separate? How about you and your God? Then you will say, I am thinking about God, but I don't know whether God is thinking about me or not. Isn't it? then you should remember like the answer that I gave some day way back in the Q&A session to Abhaji, like when I was talking about like, it's not that he has forgotten you, it is you who has forgotten him. When you are praying, you are actually replying back to the call, not calling him. So that's where it's like, even in your process, just think of this. Might be you take the form of Shakti and you might be seeking Shiva. And in your form, the way your penance is going on, the things that you are going through, even in that space, is he away from you? It looks like different, it looks separated, but they are not. And that's what Tahar Vidya says. Even when you are not there, it seems like you are not there, it is still there. When you still think that you are not liberated, you are actually. It appears in a different way. And that's what I say. No, it is strong and it will twist it slowly. Now, there might be a question then, why I feel like he does not remembers me. यही है ना. But just like this, just think of it. When you say that, why do I feel like he does not remember me? कभी कभी आपको ऐसा हुआ है कि, let's say, I'll take my example itself. You gave me a message and I did not reply back. I did not reply back for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 5 days. What do you feel? The first thing that comes to your mind, tell me. या तो ये बदल गए या तो हमें भूल गए, या तो इतने काम में बिजी है, हमारे लिए टाइम कहाँ है. So that's what your mind does. But have I told that I have forgotten? Have I told that I don't want to answer you? Have I told anything to you yet? And how do you read it? That means you must be God. If you can read my mind, what's going on, whether I have forgotten, discarded, thrown, whatever words you use. I never said that. Let's say there has been a person who is waiting for me to go to their home and I'm just not giving a date or not telling the time. What would they think of me then? No, I've been asking it again and again and again. When can I book a ticket for you? And then he does not reply. Okay, I'll let you know. I will let you know. How do you feel in that moment? Not easy, right? And then suddenly you see I'm sitting with somebody else sipping on a juice, and you say, wow, he has time for all this. And here he see, anytime that comes for me, he is not available. Did you realize that actually you started not questioning on that person, you started questioning on your own self? Now tell me one thing. Is it only when he speaks to you or just go and sits with you, that's only the place when you know it closely, or he is with you? If that is the question, the answer is again, when Shiva was sitting and meditating, what was he thinking of? And when Parvati was sitting and meditating, what was she thinking of? So do you think I really forget you people? No, right? If I would have forgotten you, I would not have started this movement altogether. Did it rings any bell in your head? If I would have forgotten you, I would not have started this process of starting this Aham Brahmasmi group itself. Now, without this group, how did you connect with me? What I did, what you did, how was it even? समझ में आ रहा है what I'm trying to say? That means it has brought you first into the space where you can even remember or think कि वो क्या कर रहा है. First and foremost thing he has accepted. Then only you start thinking, अच्छा मुझे accept किया था, अब कर रहा है कि नहीं. It's happening right now or not. But did you realize like what has changed there? Up until he has accepted you, you cannot even think that he has forgotten you. And that's where I say, Your things will happen, so don't worry. Whether I go or not, the word, whether I do it or not, whether it looks like or not, but things will be done. So don't worry on that. That's what I can say. So then say, okay, so that means you are saying that you will never come. That's what you are denying. I never said that. And you are pushing it. At times, it might even look like when I'm questioning the God, like whether he has forgotten me or not. Is it a question on my devotion, in my surrenderness? It's not your devotion. Why do you again connect the mind with you? It's not your fault in devotion, it's ignorance. The mind can put so many questions in front of you saying that, okay, but he's not replying back. But if you really know me, what would you think? आज नहीं किया कल कर लेंगे. And then I find people so many times like they say that, okay, take your time. Whenever you have time, you can give the answer. I'll give you the best example. I would like to take the name here. I never take that in that way. Uh, there is one person, Sankalp. You know who Sankalp is? Sankalp is Sudhaji's son. And Sudhaji's son, he will message me any specific day and he just say, Gurudev, pranam. I just came here to just to say pranam, and whenever you have time, you call me. And I don't call him in months. Not even in months. But again, in 1-2 months, he will again give a message. गुरुदेव अगर मौका है, अगर समय है तो एक बार कॉल कर लीजिएगा आज. I say, okay, I'll see, and I don't call. This has been happening for 2 years now. But I've never got a single complaint from him. And the day I call, he said, so आज मौका मिल गया आपको. So what would you call that? Is too much of devotion? No. He simply understands one thing. He says he's not denying me. Delays are not denials. That's what it is said, right? थोड़ा देर हो सकता है. वो क्या है हिंदी में कहावत धवल जी? हाँ, देर है अंधेर नहीं. Hey, there is a delay, but there is no denials. There is no darkness. So might be the delay becomes your tapasya. Might be the delay becomes when. How do you even know he's not trying to make you stronger or building you up in such a way that you no more just get dependent on other things outside? How do you even know? देखो एक छोटा सा बच्चा है, he is trying to learn walking and he's falling again and again. But as a parent, will you go and hold him every time, or you allow him to fall and get up? You're looking, you're observing. You will not allow him to fall from a mountain. You will allow him to fall from the ground, the floor, right? And you know it won't hurt. But in that, as little bit of hurt that happens to it also, it learns walking. और मैंने पहले ही कहा है कि don't worry, I'm not here to become a master again for you. I'm here to become, I'm here to create master so that you become something for somebody. You realize that it is absolutely possible to become a master in this world. You have all the rights, you have all the things, all the power, actually, I can say that would be right word. You have all the power to prove me wrong that you cannot. But I believe that you can become a master. And that's why you're sitting here. You can prove me wrong. That's your power. I am powerless in that space. You can definitely prove me wrong that आपने गलत को choose किया. I don't have denials. I don't have regrets choosing you people. It can be you. अच्छा, so we feel मतलब धारा के साथ बह के चले गए राधा राधा करते हुए. चलो फिर वापस आते राधे राधे. So then we were talking about like क्या था? Childhood and when we were moving outside, right? Okay. हमें लगता था कि जो knowledge है, it's like far off. Let me tell you a small little story. Uh, there was uh, there was one man once he was standing near a big river. बड़ा सा नदी है, उसके सामने खड़ा है. And from the side he is standing, on the other side of the river there is a big hidden temple. वो कहा जाता है कि बहुत ही पावरफुल मंदिर है उस तरफ जो छिपा हुआ है, but it's a big temple. He has heard that there is a hidden temple that is very powerful on the other side, and he has heard that it is a place where one could experience clarity, peace, and true awakening in his life. And in order to reach to that temple, you know what he did? For years, he continued to preparing himself. He collected books about the river, the history of the river, how, when, what, everything he started reading about the river. He studied how the currents of the river are flowing. He learned the science of swimming. कि ऐसे होना चाहिए, हाथ का एंगल इतने में जाना चाहिए तभी तैर पाओगे, एंड ऑल दैट. He discussed with others who had heard about the temple also. Every single day, what he used to do, he will come to the river. Every day, he will stand at the edge of the river, and every day, he would return back. Because his mind, in his own mind, the crossing had to be perfect, not just a crossing. It should be absolutely perfect. The knowledge has to be complete, the moment had to be right, and then only he would cross the river to get into that temple. One day, this person was standing at the edge of the river, and that day, a old sadhak, you can call her, a old person, quietly approached him. And that person came without any books, he did not spoke of any theories. He simply stepped into the river and began to walk. The man was stunned. There is no boat, no preparation, no technique, he asked. And the old man smiled and said, the river was never an obstacle. He said, it was the idea of the river that you hold within your mind was the obstacle. And that person simply started swimming and reached the other part. And this person standing here for years, in that moment, something shifted in him. And in this moment, he realized he was not standing at the edge of the river. He was standing at the edge of his assumptions. And Tahar Vidya is just like that river. That river, it is not distant, it is not reserved, it is not waiting for you to become something else or perfect. It begins the moment you stop complicating what is already within you. And the truth is simple, but the mind resists simplicity. And because of this, because simplicity dissolves every control, simplicity dissolves identity, simplicity dissolves the illusion that I am not ready. And when that illusion breaks, you don't reach Dharvidya. You realize you were never separate from him. But the question is, are you ready to be simple? Because the moment you say, I am absolutely the way I am, I'm going to be that simple as possible, then you will see you will lose control on certain things because you are no more trying to control them. So now, close your eyes and let's experience the river now, if it is available for us. So sit comfortably, relaxed, not that relaxed that you will fall asleep. I know there is a great challenge listening to me in the early morning, like listening to my voice in the early morning and still keeping your eyes awake. So let's see what we can do. Close your eyes. And I'm going to say something. Just listen to that carefully. close your eyes and take the moment to simply arrive to that place. Now, I'm not telling what place, and I'm not telling which vehicle you are taking to reach that place. I'm simply saying, simply arrive at that place. The place is your choice. Dhavalji, you should not close your eyes, you are driving. So, others, those who are not driving, you can close your eyes, right? So, simply arrive, remembering that there is no preparation, nothing you need to achieve. Just be here. When I say here, it is the same place where you want to be. You can call it in the presence of the divine, you can call it a space of nirvana, you can call it a space of liberation, you can call it satori, whatever you want to call it. Just arrive at this place. No preparation, no luggage, no baggage. Because you don't need to achieve anything to reach here. No certificate, no credentials, absolutely nothing. Just be here. And when I'm saying here, I'm not saying there. Here, it is available right now, in this moment. So just be here. And I'm going to tell something magical to you today. For the next few moments, don't try to meditate. Don't control your breath. Don't even focus your don't even force to focus on anything. Just let it go. Let everything be exactly as is. Even if your mind is active, allow it to be active. Take your time, enjoy your space. Simply enjoy your space. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Your disconnection is not happening. You are just there. I'm just silent for some time. And now, when you are sitting in that space, let, as I said, everything to be as is. And now, gently bring your awareness to your hands, not by thinking about them, but by feeling them. I could simply say, feel your hands. Notice the subtle sensations, the quiet vibrations of your hands. Now, once you have felt that, slowly shift your awareness to your face. आपके चेहरे के ऊपर आपका ध्यान. Sensing it from within. Feel all the sensations happening on your face. Feel it from within. Once you have felt the sensations of the face, now bring your experience and try to experience what's happening in your chest region. Not to bring anything from outside, but simply observing what is already present within you. The sensations in your body. Now become aware of your thoughts. Don't stop them or control them. Just simply watch. If a thought arises and passes, another comes and goes, simply and gently ask within, where is this thought coming from? Not to find answer, but to notice. As you observe, you may begin to sense that between two thoughts, there is a small, subtle gap, a quiet space. And now, instead of following the thoughts, rest your awareness in that gap. Even it appears only for a fraction of a moment, stay there. Because this space of this gap between a thought ending and before a thought starts, this gap is not something that you are creating. Instead, it has already always been there. Focus on that space. And now again I'm going to play the music for some time, so that you just be in that space and focus on that gap.
चैट जीपीटी सीखना है, आ जाओ सिखा।
Now, if you are able to hold yourself in that space, just try to pinpoint that space with a color of any choice. It might be like this: one statement starting, there is a full stop, there is a little space, and then the next sentence begins. Similarly, look at your thought as a statement. One statement begins and slowly it goes away as a full stop. Then there is a little space, and then the next thought is appearing. Now, your work is to focus on that space after the sentence has completed and before a new sentence has begun. And that space mark with any color that you want, a color of your choice. Now, think it as if you are taking a printout of a paper, and now you have marked the same color at every space that is there after the end of a sentence and before the start of a sentence. That space you have marked like small dots. So all that you will see in the page is the same colored dots so many places now in that one page. That means it's like a record of your thoughts, and now you are not reading what the thoughts are there. You are not reading what's written on the paper. You are simply focusing on one thing, the colorful dots. Then it would be easy for you to realize that actually there are so many gaps that you have not been noticing. And you are not doing anything to create that. These gaps are already always there. And now slowly rest yourself in those colorful dots. Slowly merge into one of the dots. As if somebody is taking a dip into the river, you take a dip into that colorful dot. Let go of all the stress, let go of all the tension, let go of all the thoughts. Just submerge yourself into that space, that colorful dot, which is nothing but a space. Now gradually become aware of your whole body, which is sitting, breathing, and existing. And at the same time, notice that there is a stillness within you that remains untouched. Focus on that space. You are that stillness. You are that untouched being. Soak yourself in this space. Now you can take a slow breath in and slowly let go of the breath as well. A slow, deep breath in and a slow, deep breath out. Do it for 3 times. And then slowly open your eyes when you are ready. But you will not leave this awareness behind. Even when you open your eyes, let the world appear while you remain present to that space that you experienced right now. I can say this is also kind of a beginning process of Tahar Vidya. You can take your time to open your eyes. Now, what did you do to reach something where there is no thought, there is no beginning, there is no end, but just the endless spot of space? Was it something you created? Was it something that you went, or it was just you brought your focus onto that? And when you brought the focus onto that, how do you feel right now? Can you carry this along with you? Because it's not creation, it's realization that this is already always available to you. I remember some time ago I wrote something like, when I asked God, how can I tell people about you in words? And the answer was, ask them not to find me in your words. Ask them to find me in the gaps between your words. What did you do today? You are not trying to find your divinity through words or language. You are actually trying to experience that was available before any word existed, even before the pranava. And if it is before pranava and you are experiencing that space, मीन्स ओमकार से भी पहले वाला शब्द की बात कर रहे, पहले वाली स्थिति की बात कर रहा हूं. And if you are experiencing that space which was even beyond the primordial sound, what are you experiencing? And if you are able to experience that, what state will you reach if you just focus on this space? It's like merging back when nothing was there. Somebody asked me, how do you attain something? How do you become silent? I say, meditate. But what do you do in meditation? I said, that's the problem. You don't do anything. And when you don't do anything, then only the divine is attained. That is so funny, isn't it? People do so many things to achieve it, but when you don't do anything, then only you achieve it. That's the understanding, isn't it? मैं ध्यान करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं. अच्छा, कोशिश करने के बाद क्या करते हो? ध्यान का चाहते, ध्यान में क्या करते हो? कुछ नहीं. I said, that's what it is. इतना सरल है. You will actually attain to the divine without doing anything. लेकिन अगर ये किसी को बोल दो, मान लेंगे लोग. वो आपको छोड़ के चले जाएंगे, ये पागल हो गए. मैं बोला अंटिल, अगर आप समाधि की बात करते हो, ठीक है, समाधि में जाने के बाद आप क्या करते हो? कुछ नहीं ना, मैं भी वही बोल रहा हूं. It's like the story you might have heard, na? There was a rich businessman who went near a seashore and he saw like a fisherman lying down on the beach and is whistling in the mid of the day. And this rich man goes and says, "Hey man, you seem happy." He says, "Yeah." Don't you have fishing today? He said, "Yeah, I have done enough." Nah, enough. There is a long day ahead. Why are you sleeping and just whistling here? You could go and get some more fish. He said, "What would happen with that?" Now you can go and sell it and gain more money. He said, "What will happen with that?" No, then you will have four more yachts or ships and then cargoes and all this. He said, "What will happen after that?" Now then you will have more money, then you will have more people working for you. They say, "Okay, what after that?" Now when you have all that enough of money and you have all that enough of things with you, then you can simply rest. He said, "What am I doing now?" This brings home, right? It's like the final nail on the coffin. You can run around and round and round and then come to a place where you can just simply lie down and whistle. Or you can lie down here and whistle right now. Tahar Vidya cuts down on the road. Did you understood? It directly connects you to a space of absolute nothingness, absolute stillness, absolute purity. There is nothing impure there. There can be impurity in my writing. Can there be an impurity in that space between the writing? शब्द अच्छे बुरे, बहुत अच्छे बहुत खराब हो सकते हैं, लेकिन जो शब्दों के बीच की जो निशब्दता है, दैट साइलेंस, कैन इट बी रॉन्ग? कैन इट बी अगली? नो. मनुष्य अच्छा बुरा हो सकता है. दिव्यता. डिड यू सॉ? वेयर यू केम यू डोंट नो, वेयर यू आर गोइंग यू आर नॉट नोइंग, यू आर मेकिंग द नॉइज इन बिटवीन. एक शब्द की तरह. और शब्द अच्छा या बुरा हो सकता है, बहुत अच्छा बहुत बुरा हो सकता है, लेकिन निशब्दता पूर्ण है. शब्द अपूर्ण हो सकता है. इट माइट नॉट बी कंप्लीट, इजंट इट? मनुष्य का जीवन पूर्ण हो सकता है, अपूर्ण हो सकता है, वो कुछ भी सोच सकता है अपने बारे में. बट हाउ अबाउट knowing that space? And when I say that space is the divine, that means जब भी आपको कोई पूछे, where were you before? This is a question actually that Google cannot solve. That's what they say. When they ask like where you came from, the unanswered questions, the top unanswered questions by the science, that's what it is said. Then when somebody asks you, where did you came from, where will you go? What's your answer? I was the clay before the pot. I will be the clay after the pot. I was the space before this life. I will become the space again after this life. I was the divine before this play. I will be divine after this play, while playing the role and acting like a human despite being the divine. So when you are not the divine, there is a song now, where do you come from, where do you go? So you can give an answer to people. बोले ऐसे कैसे होता है? Well, like, sit down, I'll teach you. Take a book. And when you take a book and you just show them, where did this sentence begin? Ah, from here. Acha, before that? No, there is space. Exactly. Where will this sentence end? At a certain point. After that, space. Exactly. This life is just like that, words in the books, that statements, that sentences, but there are pauses in that. Now, what are those pauses? These pauses are the spots where you sit quietly, you experience divinity for a moment. But in order to read the book, you just don't focus on the spots, right? No, don't focus on the gaps. You read it. But if you really want to rest, what do? You stop reading. You focus on the gaps. Your life is so full. But when you are doing a meditation, what are you doing? Nothing, just like the space in the book. But what creates, like if I write the entire page in one single word, there is no gaps in it. Can we read it? Won't it be confusing? Let's say there is a statement there, long, long ago there was a king, and I remove all the spaces between that. What would you read it? Can you read it? No, right? Those spaces make it readable. Now, let me tell you the secret why I said that. The people, those who never understood what spirituality is, they are trying to read the entire sentence as a word because there are no gaps in their lives. Won't they be confused? Can they spell out that word? That's why they are not able to spell out life. They are not able to understand what life is. They are not able to define. They are not able to tell others. So they are so confused, so agitated, so irritated, so very tough with their own selves because they're trying hard to learn it. They're not able to. But good that you have gaps in life, you have spaces in the words. It is easy, it becomes easy when you give gaps and spaces. That's what this rest is as important as work. Now tell me, what is Narayan doing? You see Narayan and you shout out like Govinda, Govinda, and then you see in his doing he is resting, and in his resting he is doing. What could be a greater example that you learn from him? कि सब करते हुए भी निद्रा में है और निद्रा में रहते हुए भी सब कुछ कर रहा है. Because neither he is doing, neither he is not doing. In his presence, everything is happening and not happening. इसे योग निद्रा कहते हैं. Not निद्रा, योग निद्रा. He is completely aware yet detached. That's how you should live life. That's the greatest teaching that I can ever take from even Vishnu or Shiva. But I love the way he sleeps. Then somebody came and said, सारा काम हमको करना पड़ता है, तुम लेटे हुए हो. तो must be Vishnu might be in a very funny mood on that day. He said, yeah, सब कुछ तुम ही कर रहे हो इसलिए मैं लेटा हुआ हूँ. Isn't it? You are doing everything. What should I do? That's why I'm lying down. You only said I am doing everything. What are you doing? So if you are doing everything, let me lie down. Why should I fight? But what a beautiful way. Being the owner of everything and lying down happily. So the day you realize you are the owner of everything, would you lie down like that or not? Might be whistle, might be sing, might be hum a song. Mahadev hi sada mere. So you can sing a song and just sit down there and listening to that, right? Now, would you find difficulty when life ceases to happen, when life pauses for a moment? When things are not happening in your way, might be that's the full stop that has been there or the comma that has been put. But now it has been kept there so that you can read life better. So what kind of life do you live? One word or gaps between words to make sense? That's what Tahar Vidya teaches you. Is it difficult to understand all these things? Difficult if somebody teaches you with a lot of jargons in that, like lot of heavy words. But we are not taking any heavy words. We are just taking simplest of the simple examples, putting into action and trying to realize what it is. So Tahar Vidya is difficult or easy? You can say both. Now why both? Now, I can sit here easily and experience Tahar Vidya, or I can go into Tahar Vidya to learn what it is. But now tell me one thing. Few moments ago, I gave an example of Narayan. Did I? Yes. What is Narayan doing? Lying down, right? And in his lying down, everything is happening. He's not doing anything. You agree to that? Now tell me, what are you doing? You are also sitting comfortably at your home. Might be half lying down or half asleep or half sitting. You are sitting there. What are you doing? But in your presence, this is happening. So who is the divine here? Me or you? यहाँ पे नारायण कौन है? मैंने कहा कि जिसके होने मात्र से सब कुछ होता है, जिसे कुछ करना ना पड़े, बिना किए सारा कार्य होता है, वो नारायण है। वो आराम से बैठा है। आप क्या कर रहे हो? इसीलिए मैं कहता हूं, आपके होने मात्र से ही हो रहा है, आप कुछ नहीं कर रहे। सब बटता हो, आप नारायण हो या नारायण कहीं और है। Govinda, Govinda. And now just think of yesterday, I saw a small reel. There was one person who has, like, a family has gone to Tirumala, Tirupati, and that fellow got lost. One of the fellow from that group got lost, and his name is Govinda. Now everybody, they are trying to call his name Govinda. Where are you, Govinda? The moment they say Govinda, everybody is shouting Govinda, Govinda. Now, where is that Govinda now? The Govinda itself is lost in the name of Govinda. Now, even the Govinda is trying to find out who is calling me. He is now lost. Now he will also start chanting Govinda, Govinda. Just like us. We are lost in that crowd. Now we are shouting God, God. Forgetting you are that Govinda who is being called. So it is not calling, it's recalling. Recalling what? Recalling your truth. Recalling your being. Recalling yourself. It's not claiming, it's just realizing. So if in your presence everything is happening, in your presence I'm speaking, in your presence all this knowledge is being unfolded, and you are not doing anything. You are just sitting, sometimes smiling, sometimes thinking, sometimes okay. तो बताओ नारायण कौन है? उषा जी कहते मैं So you see, like, people will always try to keep away from divine. But if you are truly divine, will you ever try to keep anyone away from you? No. That's the simplest of the learning in your life. That makes you divine. Your simplicity. Not complications. Complication बहुत है दुनिया में. हमारे साधारणता में ही हमारी असाधारणता छिपी हुई है. In my simplicity, the complex of the problems get resolved. Are you simple? Look at, if you go to Dwarkadhish or if you go to Vrindavan, you look at any image of Krishna, हमेशा स्माइल करता है. सिंपल है, कॉम्प्लेक्स है. हम यहाँ शिव का नाम नहीं ले पा रहे क्योंकि वो कभी कभी सीरियस दिखते हैं, वो तो बहुत बड़ा बोझ लेके बैठे. बट कृष्ण जो है, इज ऑलवेज स्माइलिंग. वासुदेव कृष्ण नाम है उनका है. एंड आई सी हिम इन यू टुडे. जो कुछ करते नहीं है, मुस्कुराते रहते हैं, और उनके मुस्कान में सब कुछ होता है. He does not do anything, he just smiles, and in his smile, everything happens. And I look at you, I am doing all the hard work here. And I see you smiling. Then I look like that foolish person who says to her, "Tu kya kar rahe? You are just sitting there." And Narayan smiles back, as तुम ही सब कुछ कर रहे हो ना, हमको क्या करना है. That's exactly the state that I will say. Now, if you look at yourself in that way and look at the world, लोग आके आपको कहेंगे मैं तुम्हारे लिए ये किया, वो किया, ऐसा किया, वैसा किया. अब बोले वेरी गुड, तुम ही सब कुछ कर रहे हो तो मुझे क्या करने की जरूरत. बैठो शांत होके नारायण से सीखो, यही कहता हूँ. Just look at that, learn it simply. Okay, very good, amazing. जब सब कुछ तुम ही कर रहे हो, मुझे करने की क्या जरूरत है. नहीं, हम कहते हैं कि नहीं नहीं मुझे भी कुछ करना है. फिर नारायण उतर आए जमीन पे, बोले मेरे को भी कुछ करना है तो करो. Because we feel if I don't do anything, my control is gone. At a physical world, certain things has to be controlled, but don't lose your space in that. That's what I can say. वो शांति को नहीं बेचना है किसी को. वो शांति का कोई बार्गेन नहीं करना है. वो शांति का किसी को बेचने का नहीं है. किसी के साथ बार्टर सिस्टम पे नहीं जाना है. किसी को दे देने का भी नहीं है. That's yours. The only thing that you can have in yourself, for yourself. अपने लिए कुछ तो रखो. Keep that space for you. Because Tahar Vidya says you are important than anything else in this world. The space was important in the book. It's not just the line that creates the picture. It's the gap between the lines that actually brings the picture out. Now let me ask you the question. Are you eligible for Tahar Vidya? Yes, no, all right. Can you actually learn it, practice it, and experience it? Shravanam Mananam Nididhyas. That's what I'm saying. So if you do that, then you can ask me, when will it happen that I just become something else, not this, जो आता जाता रहता है, which keeps on switching between this and that. कुछ समय के लिए बहुत शांत हो जाता हूँ, कुछ समय के लिए बहुत गुस्सा आ जाता है. हाउ टू स्टॉप दिस? व्हाई पीपल कीप ऑन इरिटेटिंग मी, एजिटेटिंग मी? हाउ कैन आई स्टॉप दैट? कब होगा ऐसा स्थिति जहां पे मैं ये परिस्थितियों से परे हो जाऊंगा? आई विल बी अवे फ्रॉम दिस सिचुएशंस. कितना समय लगेगा इसे? आई से दिस मच टाइम. कितना समय लगेगा इन ऑर्डर फॉर यू टू रियलाइज? जस्ट डू दैट जो मैंने किया. लो एक बार, बोलो लाइक दिस. डाउट हो रहा ना? बोले ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? मैंने वही कहा, ऐसे ही होता है. It just happened like this. Let's say Dhavalji is driving a car right now. He might be driving it for let 20, 15, 20, 30 years might be. Not more than that. वो काफी young है, हम थोड़ा ज्यादा बोल दिए शायद. So let's say he has been driving the car for 10 years or 15 years. If I ask him how much time did it took for you to to become a person who can drive the car? You can tell stories. I took 2 days, I took 3 months, I took 30 minutes. All that you can say, right? But I say that's wrong. It never took 30 days for you to become a driver, actually. It took a fraction of a second. Before that, you were trying to become a driver. But in a fraction of a second, something happened and you became the driver. कितना समय लगा? बाकी तैयारी थी, लेकिन कितने समय में बने? अब खाना बना रहे थे, ठीक है? प्रेशर कुकर में खाना रखे हो, सब कुछ काट कूट के बनाने के लिए समय लगा नहीं लगा? खाना कब बना ये बताओ मुझे. फाइनल विसिल. जब तक फाइनल विसिल नहीं हुआ है तब तक खाना नहीं बना है. फाइनल विसिल बन गया, उसके बाद खाना बन चुका है. कितने समय में? हाउ विल यू रियलाइज? इन हाउ मच टाइम? बताओ एक बार. श्रवणम मननम निधिध्यास. When you hear it for the first time, something breaks within you. Your patterns start breaking. Then you question whether it is possible or not. No, he has given all the proofs that it is possible. Like this, it can happen. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasa. And every single day, wake up and say, when I'm going to realize? Now. Get realized for that moment. Okay, I'm happy right now. So let me give you a technique that can change any kind of mood that you are within a minute's time. Not even a minute. धवल जी बता देना, लोगों के काम में आएगा. Let's say whatever way you are right now, जो कुछ भी चल रहा है आपके मन में, you're happy, sad or whatever it is, especially when you are not feeling good, you're feeling a little angry, agitated, irritated, whatever. That's the most common factor of us, right? That's where we go easily, we slip down there. मतलब मानो खुश रहना एक बड़ी सीढ़ी चढ़ने के बराबर है और दुखी होना एक फिसल जाने के बराबर है. Remember that when the child goes to the park, it climbs the stairs. It is difficult. Happiness feels like that. It's difficult to climb. But दुखी होना, किसी को कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. जैसे गुब्बारे को फुलाने के लिए टाइम लगता है, उसको फोड़ने के लिए exactly just like that. Just a pin. Now let me tell you what you can do. Anytime you are feeling agitated, irritated, or just want to change something within you, you just want to change your mood, right? You can just take this one single thing and do. Just close your eyes for a moment and just tell me how you want to feel. Just tell yourself how you want to feel. That's it. Even Dhavalji, you can do it with your open eyes. You don't close eyes, you're driving. खोल दो आंखें, हो चुका है. It does not take time. The moment you say that I'm not feeling well, I just want, you said that as I want to feel happy. The moment you say I want to feel happy, how does it feel? That's the psychology of your mind. The moment you give an order, it starts acting that way. If you say, I am irritated, just tell yourself right now and see what happens within you. You will see something will start sinking in a very different way within you. आपको लगेगा, this thing did not happen. बोल के देखो how you feel. And many of us sink in that boat. But now, if you think like, I want to be happy, I want to be relaxed, it's like a command. I want to feel close to God. Can that be? Yes. Why not? How much time does it take to change the internal situation? External situation को जो होना है होने दो, it will continue anyways. But why do you lose your peace for that piece of world? संसार के छोटे से टुकड़े के लिए मैं अपनी शांति खो देता हूं. To get the smaller piece of the world, I lose the bigger piece within me. I don't know like what satsang could be if this is not. So I believe like with this, I would like to give a break today. And we will continue with this because I'm not asking you to believe in anything new. I'm not even asking you to notice something that was never with you. So we'll continue from here. The day I think like I will complete Tahar Vidya today, it expands itself to another session. I feel like this is like your wish list. It just expands. But good. But the question is, have you learned anything today? More than that, have you realized anything today? What's the learning for this day? देखा, नारायण को कुछ याद नहीं रहता. नारायण कहते फिर जाके I will go back, I will listen to the entire session and then I will come back with the points. But can anyone tell me what were the highlights of this day? चलो अदिति जी को अनम्यूट करते हैं. अदिति जी हाँ बोल रही है. Karthik already started writing. अच्छा, रजनी जी बोले self care. Karthik said focus on the gaps. चलो अदिति जी बोलो.
हर हर महादेव.
हर हर महादेव. हाँ, ये तो भी बोला हमने, कहीं होगा, कहीं तो बोला होगा हमने.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल महादेव श्रवण मन विजिटेशन का प्रैक्टिस. उसके
Okay.
बाद में हमने गैप्स पे फोकस करना है, डॉट्स पे,
हम्म,
at the starting of the point and statement and the end of the statement. तो जब हम एंड्स स्पेस पे ज्यादा फोकस करेंगे then we will can continue और ट्राइंग टू फोकस ऑन डॉट्स. तो हम ज्यादा उसके ऊपर फोकस करने लगेंगे तो वही प्रैक्टिस हो जाएगी rather than statement
हम्म.
as a word.
Okay.
So it's like inward journey. और अगर हमें अंतर्मुख होके सोचना है तो to start focusing on the gaps.
Yes.
और इसके बाद नारायण का जो सबसे फेवरेट था,
गोविंदा
With that,
गोविंदा। अभी जब भी
yes.
लोग बोलेंगे गोविंदा गोविंदा, आपको याद आएगा कि गोविंदा है कौन, हु इज गोविंदा ट्रूली। ओके, so now let's say you visit Tirupati and people are shouting govinda govinda, won't you smile? ये सब मेरा नाम ले रहे हैं, सब मेरा नाम ले रहे हैं, everybody is talking taking my name, and then you also shout out govinda
So,
govinda, and then अलीवा जी ने लिखा है ना वहां पे स्पेस एंड चुटकी, हरि
yes.
भाई ने लिखा है गैप्स चुटकी बी नारायण। हरि भाई को भी नारायण बनना पड़ेगा, बस सोच रहे हो, सोचो
वो ऑलरेडी है।
नहीं अब तो बोलेंगे, वो जाके अगर जो हरि भाई बोले कृष्णा 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 कृष्णा।
वो तो ऑलरेडी खुद का नाम ले रहे।
That was the reason why in our culture we were given God names. That someday you will realize that you are that. Okay. So thank you, Aditi, for summing it up. I never knew that I spoke for nearly 2 hours and there were only 3 points in 4 points in that. So bad at teaching. No, it is not that. As I said, no, it takes fraction of a second to realize it, but all the others are preparation. If the preparation is not done, understanding just that, आज मैं सुबह आता मैं बोलता आज का है, फिर Vani ji would be sitting and he says, what did he do today actually? Oh, he must be saying to be silent, might be. And Vinay ji would be sitting like that. What did you do today, Mahadev? You are something else doing today. You are not telling anything right. I'm not able to understand. So that's how we all have our own understanding to get into that space and understand. But when that thing is built up in that way, yes, know your potential, don't be a bonsai. And there is one session today in the evening that none of you know it actually. I am having a small group of youth and there is a Q&A session with the youth. They are allowed to ask any questions that they want. आप सब तो यूथ नहीं हो ना, इसलिए ऐड नहीं किया उसमें. आई एम द ओल्डेस्ट इन द ग्रुप. So that is there in the evening at 6 to 7 or 6 to 8 it might be there. Although the youth is allowed to participate. The only thing, ये देखो दीपिका जी बोले we are still infants. Infants are not allowed. Infants should be in the cradle and the cribs. So we'll take care of them in a different way. We'll put them in the swing and just move them so that, and I can sing a song for them also. But yeah, I'll just share that in the group. The reason why I did not posted it till now was I think like that those kids should be given an opportunity to speak. And like I cannot stop myself. I'll just throw it into the group. And yeah, Hariva, I need your help with the Zoom call as well for that. Might be.
Sure, man.
Okay, so here we are. Tahar Vidya here and now. Will we meet again next time with another realization learning? And there is one more thing coming on 16th May 16th. There is another program that is happening. That's an offline program that will happen actually. So again, like it has been brought into existence by a group of people that I met recently from the corporate world. Just doing a 2 hour meditative and healing kind of thing. It's not healing, it's like meditation and Shuddhi kind of process. So it will be there. So a lot of things are coming your way, and I am also busy preparing new songs for you. So with this, Revati ji called me and said like, you know what, Manaji, like, I don't know why I tend to speak like people the time I take their name. I have to stop that. So she said like, you know what, like I'm now thinking like I have to bring time out of in order to live this world, because everything is being consumed by Anand and this Aham Brahmasmi group itself. मिला सारा समय कुछ ना कुछ करने के लिए. मैंने कहा कि देखिए ये हमारे it's not that I want to bind you there, but I want to keep everything available to you so that you, when you get that little space, you can dive into it. ये आपको बांधने के लिए नहीं, आपके लिए रखा हुआ है. आपको जब समय मिले आ जाना. It's just like that swimming pool which is lying vacant. It depends on you when you want to go and take a dip into that or not. The swimming pool won't say that, come on, dive into it. No. But I'm preparing these things so that anytime, any moment of the day, you can just connect back to that, right? So thank you, everyone. And I still know you will continue to breathe life into those songs by listening to it. Govinda, Govinda. Thank you, everyone. Meet you again soon. Till then, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. Haribhai, now you can go and play our songs as much as you want. Thank you.
Yeah, give me a second. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice Sunday.